Because if you can't love you, boo, you can't love him too. Ooh. This year, Valentine's Day has fallen on a Thursday, and if you are keeping up with your calendar, you will see that today is Valentine's Day. And I wanted to post this video today because I want to talk about love, y'all. I want to talk about love. And I feel like this is also the right time to get this confession I've been holding off my chest. But before I do get this confession out and into the world, I'm gonna be one of those YouTube people that asks you to subscribe to this channel. Since we're talking about love, show me some love, subscribe, and the world will be a better place because of it, right? So, love, right? All right, here we go. This will be a surprise to anyone that knows me, all of my friends. And it's not easy for me to talk about this, but I have been seeing someone. I'm very much in love. I am so technically single because I've been dating myself. Now listen, I am absolutely into the idea of dating. I think it's a great concept. I'm a romantic at heart. I always say that, I mean, it's too late for me now to have what my parents have because they have been together since my mom was, whatever, she was a teenager, and so was my dad when they first met. I'm in my 30s, but I love the idea of dating. I really do. But at the same time, dating can be mad awkward, and I feel like a lot of people date just to do it, and I don't want to do that. When I do jump back into the world of dating other fools, I want to make sure that I'm bringing something to the table, right? I don't want to waste his time just as much as I'm not expecting him to waste mine, because you waste my time, you die.
Don't fuck with me, fellas! This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
That's a little extreme, and no one has ever died from dating me, but you never know. When I first moved here to Chicago, I tried the dating scene for a hot second, and it was just such a reminder that I was not interested in doing it right now. And I quickly realized that trying to reconnect with myself while trying to date someone and get to know someone else, it just wasn't necessarily the right time for me. So this video isn't really necessarily about dating and like romantic love. It's much more about the overall idea of love, because I really do think that we can find love in our lives in so many different ways. And I think what I have been most pleased with throughout the last, I'll say, the last like a year and a half is again, I'm a romantic and I like the idea of being with someone, but at the same time, I have enjoyed so much more getting to know who I am as a person, understanding what I like, what I don't like, what I will accept, what I shan't. And that honestly does take time, and it's so unfortunate because I feel like so many people as individuals in the way that we've been conditioned by society, it's like if you don't have a partner, if you don't have a life partner, you guys aren't married, you don't have a house, kids, blah, blah, blah. If you don't have that by a certain age, you're almost a failure in society's eyes because you've not found the one. And I just think that is absolutely ludicrous. So I've been taking time to just really pull back the onion layers of who he is to learn what he wants. And as it just so happens to be, I want more things for myself.
I said what I said, and I'm not changing on it, okay?
And I know that sounds super selfish, but if I can't fulfill myself, if I can't bring myself joy or happiness, I just don't know how I'm going to be able to do that for someone else. And I wish other people understood that a bit more, because I have jokingly said I love myself. I mean, it's not a joke, I do love myself. But when people say it out loud, when you say things like I love myself, everyone around you thinks that you're being an egomaniac or that you're really into yourself. And to a degree, it's like, yeah, I am into myself.
I fall in love with myself, and I want someone to share it with me.
So I'm all about that self-love, that juicy, juicy self-love. But also, I gotta take a beat, I gotta take a moment. Listen, little Miss Ariana Grande, That song, Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored, y'all, I'm not even interested in dating anyone right now, but she's got me out here feeling like a home wrecker when Ariana, I'm a child of God, I don't do that. And by child of God, I mean Tom Ford. Don't try me, Ari, I'll snatch that pony, okay? Ain't nobody got time for this f***ery. I mean, I do, and it's been on repeat. Besides self-love, I did want to actually talk about two other things that I felt like I have rediscovered in terms of the love that I have for other things. The first thing that I have rediscovered a love for is reading. So it's never going to, I read all the time, so that's never gone away. But I realized over the last year, since I've become much more serious about my writing, I look at reading in such a different way now. It's way more educational, even if I am just reading fiction, and I love it. And when I say it's educational, it's like I read some of my favorite authors, I read and discover new authors, and what I am doing is I'm trying to do my best to just enjoy the story, but I'm also breaking it down. So for me, I feel like I can get really wordy trying to describe whatever it is, right? I can take pages and pages to describe something. And I think, I'm like, how does the writer quickly describe a character but give enough information that you feel like you know who they are? I definitely think that that is a gift and a talent, and it's something that I'm trying to get better at. I'm about to finish a book now called Severance by Ling Ma. And it's really, I don't even know why I bought it, to be honest. I can't remember why, but I'm having a great time reading it. It's a really good read, it's a quick read. But anyway, what I'm going to read after this is, and I can't even think of the title of the book because I've had it for 3 years now, but it's a collection of short stories. And what I want to do is I actually want to start reading some short stories to figure out how they quickly describe characters and scenes, because a good short story can hook you and make you believe that whomever you're reading about, their journey is yours. So I feel like I've been able to tap into a completely new wavelength with my reading to help my writing. I'm gonna take a sip of water because I'm thirsty. The other thing I wanted to talk about that I love, again, is it's a two-pronged situation. They go hand in hand, basically, like peanut butter and jelly. And that is clothing, number one, and fashion, number two. So, number one, clothing. The last time that I worked in fashion in New York, I had this coworker that one day literally turned to me and said, "Oh, so you're just gonna sit there with your gut out like that?" And so I was just like, did this trick really just body shame me at work? And the reality was, sorry, I got a text message. The reality is I did gain weight, and because of that, I disliked my body, and as a result of that, I disliked clothing. But because I was not liking my body or clothing, I didn't want to deal with it. So I dressed very comfortably, and there's nothing wrong with comfort. There's nothing wrong with it. But because I knew that I was dressing comfortably to basically hide my body, I did not like getting dressed up. I did not like putting on things that were fitted to my body. And now I've sort of bounced back. I am serving right now Valentine All-Stars Realness with this turtleneck. So when I got to Chicago, I got back in the gym, and this was not just about a physical thing. I wanted to just reboot myself. And so, I got the gym membership, and I, here in Chicago, live right by the lake, so I occasionally would run by the lake. But after a period of time, and even my body hasn't necessarily drastically changed, but after a period of time, I'm just gonna put my phone down because this is a 10SX Max. I'm not trying to break it or harm it. I've already dropped it 3 times. So my body hasn't changed drastically, but I feel like something up here did. I did lose a little bit of weight. I did get some of them abs back. But at the same time, what I regained the most is an appreciation for clothing. I've started to have fun with it again, and I think, as corny as that sounds, having fun with it brings me a little bit of happiness, and I think that is important in our lives. On the flip side, you know, I said clothing and fashion. Back in the day, I low-key knew all of the models' names. I knew what agencies they were at. I felt like I knew so much about the industry and what was going on. And when I lived in New York for years, I was in this industry in various capacities. Anyone that has legitimately worked in fashion, they know, you know, it is not always peaches and cream. It's rarely peaches and cream. A lot of times it's more like Xanax and desperation. It's rough, y'all, it's rough. When I left New York, I basically turned my back on all things fashion. But when I rediscovered my love for clothing, I started to tiptoe my way back towards different fashion sources, so business of fashion. Do me a favor, VOF, please take the money that I've given you and make the app better. Thank you. So it's legitimately a full circle situation. Self-love from the beginning of this video, reading, writing, clothing, fashion, confidence, Hercules. So I feel like honestly that is just the best time to just wrap this video. So do me a favor, do yourself a favor, take a beat, take a moment to just say, I love you, and say it to yourself, because if you can't love you, boo, you can't love him too. Ooh. Subscribe again if you haven't already, and I will see you next month for another video, I'm having fun with this.